Everybody, my name is Cheryl Howard. I am an inspiration and transformation strategist. I am a best-selling author. I am a life purpose coach and a mental health professional and pastoral counselor. Today, really quickly, I want to talk about triumphing over trauma. Triumphing over trauma. Listen, understand and know that you can move from your past and present experiences that may have or are affecting you in negative ways, infecting you on emotional, psychological, and even familial level. The pain. Now, this is for those of you, if you who really want to live free, who really want to live lighter, who want to operate as their best self at whatever they do. They want to feel like they being their authentic self because they're operating from a healed place. A person You're a person who's overcome some things. We're going to go through more things in life, but you're at a place where you can give back, where you can pour, where you can serve, that you want to let go of the weight that so easily beset you, so easily hold you captive and frozen and stuck. And you know you're not operating 100%, not even 90%. But sometimes we're doing stuff while we're going through things, but you're still at a level that you can still help serve other people and use your experience as a testimony. Let's face it, it is not fun walking around heavy on the inside, making it difficult to maintain. Because when you feel all that weight, it really make it difficult for you to operate, like I said, on a 100%, 90% level. It's hard for you to form healthy and harmonious relationships and maintain stability in other areas when you still need to deal with a lot of stuff that you have not addressed on many different levels. The effects of your unhealed places really can sabotage many areas of your life. And I say this over and over again. You don't even know it sometimes, but it comes out. Your open wounds are still infecting other people as well as yourself. But I want you to triumph over your trauma. I want you to believe that it is possible to be healed emotionally, psychologically, physically, mentally, in all areas. And of course, with God, all things are possible. I'm just a messenger. And any opportunity I get to combine psychology, theology, I'm here to do it. That's what I do. One of the things I do when I'm helping with my clients is to help when I'm helping them heal from emotional pain or just feeling stuck. Just being able to move forward is I help them triage and assess their own level of emotional and psychological injury. And so I take them through the process, like I said, and I kind of approach this thing where we go through layer by layer because I'm helping them to really break through barriers so they can propel into their purpose. So just like you go into the hospital and you go through triage, you can assess and identify the symptoms of pain. This is what happens when you go into emergency room. The nurse identify symptoms of your hurt and your pain, whatever current symptoms, whatever the presenting issue is at that time. It is often extended from your cellular memory. This is the reason why you still can feel the effect today of a traumatic experience that you had in the past or even recently. If you think about it for a moment, it can take you back to that place and your body will start to feel everything that you felt at that moment. The fear, the hurt, the shock of it all, like shock trauma, all of that because your cellular has a memory. But you can move on to triage, right? After you triage all of the symptoms, where it's coming from, and then we can deal with, later on you go and see the doctor using the emergency room, right? And then they really take a more thorough examination and run tests. But triaging is like urgent care. It's urgency, it's care, things that need to be addressed immediately, and each of the issues from a multi-dimensional approach, because there can be several things that contributed to how you're feeling now, basically, or where you are now, if that makes sense. So you have to just be intentional about working on that inner self. This is part of my trauma-focused coaching and counseling approaches that help you become self-aware, right? I'm always saying this if you listen to my videos, becoming self-aware of what's really going on in the inside internally and begin the healing process. You have to start somewhere. Some of us are working. Let me tell you what's a good thing about healing and breaking down layers. You can start to even operate in your purpose and function at a fuller potential even while you're working through stuff because you'll start to feel lighter. When I mention symptoms, that can be negative. I just want you to get a quick understanding. Negative, hopeless attitude toward life. Sometimes that's a symptom. Your life, a negative attitude towards others, being easily angered, being self-conscious, being pessimistic, critical, judgmental, have a distrust issue. You think everybody has an ulterior motive. These are things that we address. But I want to talk about key points when working through your trauma. I'm going through this really fast because I do have an appointment I want to get to. Sometimes we can be predispositioned from some type of profound traumatic experience, such as, and some of you have been through some of these things, and there's so much more to add to the list. But some of us have experienced rejection, abandonment, neglect, loss, abuse, all forms of abuse. This causes us, or causes many of us actually, to, because we all experience some kind of trauma, to remain in a state of being perpetually victimized, constantly in a victimized mode, or even a mindset where you always feel like the victim, or you always feel like somebody is after you, or is coming to get you, or you can walk around with the woe is me heart on the sleeve all the time, bringing that negative attention to yourself. You think it's helping you, but it's really it shuns you from other people. I don't believe you want to live your life forever being a victim and not a victor. It's time to delete this dark cloud that follows you in various areas of your life. It's like a dark cloud that follows you, and people see it, and you so comfortable with it, you don't even know it's there. It follows you. It's like, oh God, here he comes. People know it. They put on one face in front of you, but when you carry that kind of dark energy all of the time, trust me, somebody is being infected by your symptoms. And so we have to start unpacking these things and meanings that we form around these themes from both repetitious and past traumatic experiences. That is key to your healing. Unpacking all of these themes. What does it mean? Why does it mean that to you? That's done in the work with coaching, counseling, or I do a lot of therapeutic type coaching, therapy. You start to go through all of this and get an understanding. The Bible says, in all you're getting, get an understanding. The light bulb goes on. Believe it or not, there are themes and meanings that you operate and process thoughts from, but you don't even realize it because it became a part of you. It follows you. We can hear the same message or words, but they can mean something different to all of us based on our life experiences and events and trauma experiences. And so the way we speak, our concepts, our perceptions are based many times because of those experiences that we had and those events. Talking about negative events that we had in our lives. And so we need to be aware of that. Like, wow, why do I think that way? Why do I go to the worst place? Why do I always see the glass half full? The scary thing is that we make decisions. We even make decisions based on these themes and meanings that can be faulty, therefore detrimental to ours and other people's livelihood. Because we speak stuff. We put stuff out in the atmosphere and somebody picks it up, or we drop seed. So dropping seed is not always dropping something positive and pouring into somebody. It can be dropping seeds of darkness, of negativity, and we infect other people's lives. So I want you to be aware of that. I want you to be conscious when you speak. I want you to think about things I'm saying. Think about if you have any themes, what permeates out of your spirit. Basically, these meanings have left an impression on you, or could have, that haven't affected you, affected the way you think, affect your cognitive processes, the way you process information, the way you receive information. And it also affects the way you communicate. And you wonder why people don't understand you, or it's just thought. Like this is not clear. These impressions become apparent to others and can actually push them away. Like I said, the shunning begins to happen before your very eyes. Sometimes you don't see it in the beginning because it's subtle. But after a while, you wonder why you don't have any friends, or some people don't want to be bothered with you. They delete you. They hit the delete button already. You just didn't know it. They don't know how to interact with you anymore. So they shun you away. They don't know how to deal with that, those issues, those pains, those symptoms that you exemplify, that you show, that you display. And so people, when we uncomfortable with stuff, we don't know how to interact with all of that. We move away from you. Your trauma can leave a negative impression on people. And so you know what? I was going to say don't take it personal, but maybe you should to a degree where it helps you to do the work and find out what is going on with me. Because once you have assessed and identified the meanings behind your perceptions, your assumptions, your conclusions, the better you will understand who you are, why you think the way you do, why you react to things the way you react to things. You'll understand and identify what areas you need to address, that need to be dealt with, that need to be confronted, even though it's not comfortable in the beginning. But understand you're moving to a healed place. So it's not comfortable in the beginning. You'll be confronted with those areas, and then you start working on treatment. This is like salvation, coming to know God and starting to heal, and all the things that we come with when we come to Him. Start to shed those things off. It's the healing process begins. But after doing all of the above work that I mentioned, and I know I'm going through it real quickly, look at this again. After doing all of the above, you become solution focused, which will be your next step. Okay, how do I move on from this? How do I address, after I have addressed each issue, how do I move on from that? What's the work I need to do to change my mindset, to change the way I feel so I can behave a different way, act a different way? Know that, first of all, that you can heal from trauma and live as a whole person. That's the first thing I want you to get. Yes, you can live healed and whole. I'm a witness. I've overcome my own trauma. But, whether you're working with somebody, a strategist, a pastoral counselor, a therapist, a mental health professional, psychiatrist, a life coach, who deal with certain things, like I said, that are more therapeutic, but they're not therapy, but they're therapeutic because they're going to help you change your life and impact you in a positive way. Trauma focused coaching therapists, transformational work, giving you, whoever it is that's going to help give you life strategies and that'll help you to become empowered. You become empowered because you implement it yourself independently. And once you get to that place, you know the work, you know what to do. It's just a matter of applying it and maintaining and being consistent. But these individuals that I mentioned that is in a helping field, they can help you work on overcoming trauma, developing coping and life skills, strategies to help you maintain a holistic, healthy lifestyle. And that is the key. Because a lot of people know what to do, what they need to do. They can tell you all day. I know it's just like a person who maybe was a believer, or they kind of backslide right now. And they know the word. They know the word of God. They know the Bible. So it's like, throwing scripture at them don't help them. They got that already. I know the word back and forth. Right now, it's some other issues that need to be addressed. So you can't go at it that way with a person. They know it already. But so they have to do it so they can become empowered. Anyway, I am through with that because I am about to go. Want to know more about me? Go to www.cherylwhitehoward.com and find out about my services, how I help people overcome trauma, breakthrough barriers, to help them grow, to help them heal, to help them progress and succeed and maintain that and put the services into place or be around the right people to help you. Because there's people that are assigned to bless you, just like there are dark seeds and dark things going on that have assigned people to try to stop you. That's a whole nother conversation we can have about the enemy and all of his plots and schemes. But then, God has a will and a purpose for your life. And he wants you to prosper above all things. He wants you to have life and have it more abundantly. And that's not only, a lot of people hear abundantly and think of wealth in financial terms, but wealth in your health, wealth in your living in your purpose, wealth as a whole person, as a mother, as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a leader, whatever it is you're called to do. Being healed and whole and having abundance in that area. That's what abundance means, that there's peace. There's peace in what you're doing. There's a level of contentment that you find in life, even though there's trials and tribulations you will go through. There's an inner peace at work in you, and it maintains and sustains you, and it keeps your mind. It really does. It keeps your mind that when you want to give up and you have crazy moments where you like, I can't. Something on the inside won't let you just totally lose it. But that's when you know you at a healed place as well. That's another sign. You know what? This in the past would have drove me crazy. But for some reason today, I feel like, I'm all right. I'm going to make it through this. And because you've done the work, your language changed. Now you're speaking different. Remember, I mentioned earlier about how when you speak things and it comes out a certain way and people don't know whatever. They see the cloud and the thing. They don't want any part of it. But now that you've been transformed by the renewing of your mind, your language changed. Now you're saying, you know what? This too shall pass. I'm going through this, or it's hard. I told a client yesterday, there is nothing wrong with self-talk. You better talk to yourself all day if that's going to, it actually keeps you from going insane, because you start talking to yourself and you'll combat the negative, disempowering thoughts and feelings that you experience, maybe while you're going through something, or maybe when you confront it, like I said, with an issue that seems overwhelming. Because you've done some level of work, you'll be able to speak to the mountain. The Bible tells us that, speak to the mountain, be thou removed and cast into the sea, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed. So even with the work that you have done, you may not be 100%, like I said, but maybe you're 50%, maybe you're 75%, maybe you're 80%, in the midst of your work, progressive, or your progress that you have made, and you made 85% progress. So you have enough empowerment, enough tools to help you combat some things, to help you cope with some areas where maybe in the past you would have ran. It would have been like a fright or flight experience where you just froze, or you just left and you can't deal with it. You just retreat, which piles even more trauma. But anyway, but I just want you to live a victorious life. I want you to live as a victor. I want you to speak victory. I want you to see victory until you really know it for yourself, even when you don't believe it, but you're speaking it, because you know, I got to do something different, because what I have been doing is not working. The way I've been speaking, the way I interact with people, the relationships I have in the past that did not work, they was very dysfunctional. Something needs to change. So I need to do something different. Anyway, I'm really going to go right now. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful to somebody, because I want you to what? Triumph over trauma. You can be healed. Be blessed.